I'm so excited to be checking out Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, the Dimension Shell Shock DLC. I'm joined by two talented developers from Tribute Games. Thanks for joining us, Frederick Gemis, the game designer. How are you doing?
Doing good, you?
Doing really well, thanks. And Yannick Belzil, scriptwriter at Tribute. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Excellent. So, gosh, I'm so pumped that we're going to be getting more Shredder's Revenge. Just to start off with, I see we're checking out Usagi here. I want to talk a bit more about this new character, but I also know this is sort of our first real extended look at the new survival mode. Can you tell us a little bit about what makes this mode unique for Shredder's Revenge?
Yeah, so the survival mode for Dimension Shell Shock is basically a completely different game mode. And in this mode, the players are traveling across the multiverse from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in order to assemble and collect dimensional crystals that have been stolen by a mysterious figure.
Oh.
And the players travel through multiple arenas where they'll fight hordes of enemies, including even new enemies, and collect crystal shards in order to complete each of the universe's crystals.
Great, and I see there's a decision here to be made between, looks like a vial of ooze with Rocksteady's face over it and another power-up. What's going on here?
So basically, every time you finish a combat challenge, you have choice between two rewards, and as you can see right now, the player picked a perk, and the perks, what they do is that they give bonus effects to the players for a set amount of time. So in this case, it is a speed boost that is equivalent to the combo string that the character is doing. So the more hits that you chain together, the faster your character becomes, and it gets like to crazy speeds.
Nice. Speaking of speed, how is Usagi doing in terms of speed compared to the other characters?
With Usagi, we really wanted to try something different than what we had with the other characters, and the idea that we went forward with is to try to make it more like an aerial character, so a character that would be more, better adapted for the air attacks and such. So we decided to. But something I think is happening on screen right now.
Yeah, Shredder's in there.
Oh man, yeah. You picked up a vial of ooze, and now we're playing as Shredder, which is incredible. So yeah, can you play as enemies within survival mode if you choose those power-ups?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, you can. It's something that fans really wanted immediately, like when the game came out, like, oh, it's called Shredder's Revenge, but I sort of wish I could play as Shredder or as Bebop or Rocksteady. So we made it like a fun mutation perk that you could use during the game. And because the characters already had so much animations, like it felt like we could just create a couple more to make them as playable characters within like within the gameplay of the survival mode.
That's awesome. It looks great. It looks like he was always meant to be playable. It just like it fits so well. And the decisions having to be made here, it seems like we're choosing between collecting more crystals to make it through. Then that's it. That's crystal complete.
That's a completed crystal. And as you collect crystal, you travel deeper into other dimensions and you face tougher and tougher challenges.
Okay. So for here example, looks like we're jumping into an 8-bit battleground, which is incredible, bringing me back to my childhood when I first fell in love with Turtles games. And so we're still within the survival mode here, but yeah, am I seeing like a filter, including, on top of this background? Tell me a little bit about this design for the stage.
So we decided to, the Turtle games have been with us forever, and we decided to pay an homage to them by just visiting an area in a dimension inspired by all of the previous games, and we went all out with the screen effects that kind of reflects the old CRT screens.
Yeah.
But we can also see here some cool character effects, like new color palettes that we have for our characters.
Yeah, it's something that ever since like the first trailer popped out, like we would see from fans on our Discord, like people already wanted different palettes for the characters, and palettes that were either based on specific movies or action figures or other cartoons. So it's something that we've decided, like immediately we were like, oh, we gotta do this. So we decided to put different palettes in this new DLC version of the game, and there's a whole bunch of them, and I think the fans will be really happy with the choice of the palettes we have.
They look fantastic. I love the backgrounds; like they're so authentic. And I'm hearing a little bit of a sort of 8-bit inspired music there as well. Is that T-Lopes coming back for this soundtrack as well?
Yes, he has made new tracks for every dimension. So that was really excited also to have more of T-Lopes' music in the game because we love the guy.
That's awesome. Yeah, a few screws loose from the full game was like on repeat for me for, I don't know, a solid month. So I'm so excited for more 8-bit tracks. Another decision here. Looks like we've gone for some more crystals.
Yeah, and as you can see also in this stage, you had also new enemies and hazards. So you saw there were those foot soldiers with the large lanterns that can set the ground on fire. And here you have unique traps that appear in each dimension. So each dimension has new hazards and things to avoid to mix up the fight a bit.
Yeah, we can see some foot soldiers have different masks on, which denotes that they might be a different type of foot soldiers and they might be harder to fight.
No, that's really great. It seems like this is such a natural evolution for folks that want, some more challenge from their Shredder's Revenge experience. And now we're jumping ahead to Omnichannel 6. So this is looking like a whole other dimension. Whoa, man, these outfits are awesome. April's looking great in a black jumpsuit. What are we looking at here?
So in the Omnichannel 6 dimension, basically it's kind of a future dimension. This is something that happens when you travel a bit further into the dimension. So it's not a starting one. It's getting a bit tougher, and as you can see, we have tougher enemies. And as Yannick mentioned, we created over 100 more different unique combat challenges. But these combat challenges, they kind of update as the game goes on. So if they get progressively harder, and we have introduced a notion of having enemy ranks. So basically, you have enemies that get tougher, they have more HP, they're more aggressive. Some of them even have new attacks. So the game does, get a bit more challenging. So it's really a test of skills.
I'd like to point out that the cameo characters in the background, both Kerma, the turtle from Shellrilla, and Cuddly the Cowlick from the old TMNT Archie comics. These were characters I really wanted to slide in somehow in the game, and we use the excuse of the dimensional shell shock to slide a bunch of our favorites and other deeper or more obscure characters to put them in there, like just for fun, for fans, but because we're fans first. So it was like we can see Fugitoid and Armagon in the background. Seeing also our awesome animators create these new characters just for an instant was a real treat.
Yeah, that's great to see Fugitoid back there. I know he's important to the history of Turtles and everything, so that's super fun. There was the core game for Shredder's Revenge is just dripping, like the ooze itself, with references and examples of your love for Turtles, and so it's so fun that this sort of dimensional shell shock situation really opens the doors for this. So. Coming out
absolutely. When the first arcade game was kind of very faithful to the show, but then the second arcade game, Turtles in Time, was basically just Turtles having fun. It was just a wild ride through time travel and such. And this is kind of how we wanted to approach a DLC. We wanted it to be something that would feel almost like a sequel, but that would go further than what we previously saw in the game. And that's why we really wanted to go with the multiverse and explore all of these new locations, which is also an excuse for more cameos and little Easter eggs. But I think it's a good refreshing experience for sure from the main game.
Definitely. And speaking of Easter, like Usagi's his moveset, I'm seeing now what you're talking about, where he is so adept at staying in the air and kind of, am I seeing him sort of juggling himself off enemies and bouncing, keeping himself in the air?
So as I was saying, we wanted to unlock a new dimension of gameplay with Usagi, so we really focused on giving him a lot of air control. So basically, Usagi is the only character who can do a real double jump, meaning that he can start the jumps in a direction and course correct if he wants, to get out of trouble or to readjust for new attacks. But also, he is also the only character able to perform his full combo in air. So, other
cool.
characters will have dive kicks and such, but Usagi can perform like his complete combo. So basically, you can launch an enemy in the air and jog and just fight him when he's the most vulnerable in air.
That's so satisfying. I can't wait to dive into that.
Oh no, it's not.
Oh, there we go. Well, a stunning performance by the players on this. We were looking at pre-recorded gameplay on PS5, but that was so exciting. Frederick and Yannick, I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining us on PlayStation Underground. I'm pumped that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Shredder's Revenge, the Dimension Shell Shock DLC, is going to be out on PS4 and PS5 later this year. So thanks again for joining us.
Our pleasure.
Pleasure.
PlayStation.
The King of Fighters 12